indeed a pleasure for me to be here this evening and welcome parents and friends, present National Honor Society members, and inductees. I'm really excited and very pleased that we have 44 students who will be inducted this evening. Ms. Scott tells me that this is the largest number in her memory as advisor of the National Honor Society. And indeed it is an honor, because these young people are not only acknowledged for their scholarship, they have a minimum of a 3.2 grade point average, but they also have been carefully considered as representing the qualities of character, leadership, scholarship, and service, which you will be hearing about as the program continues. They have been carefully screened, and we have very high expectations of them. The cornerstone of the school is academic achievement, and we expect these young people to model that kind of achievement, because it really is imperative that that tradition continues. So I'm pleased to be here. I've been to a number of these inductions, and I want to salute the parents for supporting their young people in academic achievement. I know that this just hasn't begun this year, but that you've supported them very well all the way through their formative years in elementary school and middle school and high school. So with great expectations, we'll continue with the induction. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Character defines who we are and how other people perceive us. These high school years are crucial in how we truly develop and prepare ourselves for a global society. Character is a part of this. Getting actively involved in school activities helps to build character. For example, in playing a sport, there's a lot of physical and mental discipline involved. And in National Honor Society, there are community service projects to do, fundraisers to organize, and many other leadership positions to be held. Activities such as these help you to not only feel good about yourself, but I firmly believe that you learn a lot more about yourself. And that's what character is about, the uniqueness of you. You are all here tonight because you are hardworking and have made outstanding achievements in and out of school. Being in National Honor Society puts you in a position to be exemplary in what you do and how you do it. And that's all a part of your character. I would like to congratulate you all on your achievements and once again welcome you as a 1994-95 North High National Honor Society. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Chris Groves, and he'll be speaking about leadership.
Willing to sacrifice your own comfort for the good of others. You must be a guiding light for those around you. You must be an example for others to follow. Take an active role in school and outside activities. Show others what you are capable of. Be strong. Be confident. Take charge of the world and make it a better place.
Scholarship.
Scholarship means a commitment to learning in order to expand the horizons of your mind. Scholarship is not about applying your mind 8 hours a day where learning is supposed to take place. It is learning in every situation that life has to offer. It is about learning as much as you can about everything you can, and still being fascinated by the rest. It is about using your knowledge as a tool throughout your entire life. Scholarship is not a gift you are born with. It comes from diligence and laboring. It comes from the will to take your mind and smooth out all the rough edges to produce the most prodigious gem. We, the National Honor Society, are committed to scholarship.
And last but certainly not least is Nicole Baker with service.
One thing that North High has is pride for its community, and National Honor Society is no exception. In fact, we enhance that. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to create a better tomorrow. And this year was no exception. We strived for that. Things we did were things such as Pennies for Leukemia, which was a very good cause, the donut sales, which I'm sure we've all enjoyed, and also cleaned a local church. Not everything we do is broadcasted though, and not everybody knew about them. But our willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or recognition is a quality we have in our members. We hope that our new members hold the same quality because we all need this to work for a better community.
I now have the pleasure of introducing the new National Honor Society. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I forgot our most important speaker, and I'm so sorry. And it's Ms. Jean Johnson. Sorry.
Well, all priorities being what they should be, it would have been fine to go on with the students because they are the reason why we're here. However, they probably wouldn't have liked having to stand while I gave this speech. I look out at you tonight and I want to begin by offering you my congratulations and my respect for all that you have accomplished. Some of you are here tonight to be inducted into National Honor Society, and some of you have already been members of the group and leave North for further education. No matter where you go, you take with you all that you have achieved. To get here tonight, you worked hard in your academic skills and received the recommendation of many, many people. You will continue to carry our support into the world. We're here to celebrate your success and to give you a round of applause. So applaud yourselves, please, because you've earned it. And I too would like to thank the parents because I know as a teacher that without the support of parents to get kids out of bed and unveiling over the morning sometimes, or to put up with reports or trips to libraries or whatever else, that lots of the successes the students achieve wouldn't happen. When I was asked to speak tonight, I felt concern over the responsibility. What could I say about the future? Like Rollo May, I believe that we're living in a time when one age is dying and a new age is not yet born. Tonight's questions are simply, where are we in 1993, and where will the future lead? By looking at the past, we can predict where we're going, and perhaps to look at what skills you're going to need to develop to prepare for life in a world where the only constant may be change. In this world, lovers of change will win, and as Louis Pasteur said, change is great for those who are prepared for it. A recent book on corporate restructuring advised that change in the 1990s is going to be more rapid, more complex, more turbulent, and more unpredictable. It's also going to be radical, revolutionary, and nonlinear. The authors, Beth Jarman and George Lund, call this change transformational. It is change that creates an age of discontinuity. However, to understand these changes, I still believe that we need to look at some of the great turns in the wheel of history. While it may sound strange, coming from a teacher of literature, I believe that we need to study a lot more history, remembering that the accounts that we read are often written by the winners. We should spend less time memorizing facts and dates of battles, and instead look at the connections between events and developments. Your history books have told you about some American heroes, but I had to learn about Bill Pickett, Chief Joseph, and Marcus Garvey long after I was out of high school classes. Instead, I learned about Andrew Carnegie, John Jacob Astor, Henry Ford, all men by the way, who explored and conquered the land, developed the rich resources, pushed the railroads west, built mills and factories, harnessed the energies of themselves and their employees to build our nation. Many of them had egos to match their incomes. One local tycoon, James J. Hill, built his fortune on lumber and railroads. He called one of his trades the Empire Builder, and he built the Stone Arch Bridge that crosses the Mississippi River in downtown Minneapolis in a curve, so that he could sit in his private car at the rear of the train and view the engine pulling him home to St. Paul. However, like most men of his time and background, he really believed that the individual was all important, especially if he was that individual. If you've learned more history than I had at your age, you know that not all cultures or all countries place the same value on individual rights. In some, the needs of the group come before the demands of any one person. In Asian countries with thousands of years of history, governments plan hundreds of years ahead rather than reacting to today's world situations. Some Native American nations make their decisions based on what would be best for 7 generations into the future of their children. Yet in the United States in the 1990s, we have become an instant society. We have lost our ties to the past and everything that grounds us to the earth. In supermarkets, we pass aisles of products designed to fulfill our needs. Instant coffee, instant breakfast, instant rice, instant soup, instant mashed potatoes, pre-made, pre-formed, pre-cooked food that can be popped into a microwave and nuked to nourish our bodies, if not our souls. The pace at which we live and the pressures of our lives causes all kinds of stress, and we struggle to maintain our sense of personal balance. To stay healthy in a world that requires less physical work, we add exercise classes to our frantic schedules. Over the weekend, I listened to coverage of the death of former President Nixon. That sent me into my own memory bank. In the early 1960s, I had begun teaching and I was in graduate school. My husband was attending the University of Tennessee and working on an advanced degree in nuclear and space propulsion engineering while he was working as a test pilot. By 1963, he had become a test pilot at McDonnell Douglas in St. Louis. Because he had studied computers and programming, he was put in charge of the data reduction for the Project Gemini space shuttle. To him, those early astronauts like Alan Shepard and Deke Slayton were not only friends and colleagues, but heroes, explorers of space who pushed the envelope of men's knowledge. We sat glued to the television set as each new rocket blasted into space. Now the shuttle's return is so routine that it gets only a minute or so of news coverage. The whole field of that news coverage is another thing that has changed. The Kennedy assassination, the Civil Rights era, and the Vietnam War brought tragedy into our living rooms. Before President Nixon and Watergate, we felt safe. If presidents had secrets, the press kept those secrets. We never saw Roosevelt in his wheelchair, and now the Clintons are satirized on TV programs, and the president comments on everything from his personal finances to his jogging shorts. The mystique has dissolved, and the reporters compete for more and more sensational stories, while news is reduced to 30-second sound bites. We have instantaneous coverage of news. Wherever you are, CNN covers breaking stories, and my daughter who lives in Berlin, Germany, and I can see the same global coverage simultaneously. The Gulf War changed more media rules. While in Somalia, the military had to ask cameramen to leave the beaches because the bright lights needed for broadcasting were affecting the night vision of invading troops. Today, whether from the Olympic Games in Norway, from Bosnia, or from the election today in South Africa, we could see a lone reporter beaming the news from his location to an orbiting
Hawkins. Michael Tesh. Eric Street. Eric Medru. Joe Jansen. Laura Vogel. Joshua Kronger. Aaron Zimdars. Valerie Clabo. Paul Regan. Jeremy Hart. Louise Markel. Snujana Resnow. Nang Jean. Deanna Smith. J.D. Felder. Stacy Fisher. Johanna Berry. Mindy Slutowski. I'm sorry. Ian Lingen. Jeremy Lloyd. Marsha Alexander. Stephanie Pelton. John Lynn. Tanessa Lewis. Jessica Skaronic. Taiwo Rubin. Lakeisha Allen. Champagne Suli. Kalila Milton. Kennedy Rubin. Kirsten Knudsen. Jordan Parker. Coach Hop. Stephanie Belisle. Monique Jackson. Unique Jackson. Maxine McKinney. Shua Top. Lee Jean.
I stand